Sometimes life places us exactly where we need to be, not for ourselves, but to change someone else's world. This is one of those stories. A story about kindness, quiet strength, and an unexpected moment that altered two lives forever. It was a rainy afternoon in Denver. The city was soaked in gray, and most people hurried to avoid the cold drizzle. But inside a cozy roadside diner named Lacey's, the air was warm and filled with the comforting scent of grilled cheese, coffee, and fresh apple pie. In one of the booths by the window sat Tom Ellington, a billionaire entrepreneur and one of the most powerful men in the state. But today, Tom wasn't in a boardroom or giving a speech to shareholders. Today, he was just a father, quiet, tired, and deeply focused on the little boy seated next to him. His son Eli was 8 years old. A spinal cord injury from a car accident 2 years ago had left him unable to walk or use his hands fully. Since then, Tom had rearranged his entire life to care for Eli. Money could buy specialists, the best wheelchairs, therapists, but it couldn't erase the heartbreak of watching your child struggle with even the simplest tasks. Tom had brought Eli here as a treat after physical therapy. The diner was unassuming, nothing fancy, but it held memories for him. He used to come here with his wife before she passed. It was one of the few places where he felt like a regular person. As they sat down, a waitress approached them with a friendly smile and a notepad in hand. "Hi there," she said cheerfully, glancing at Eli. "Welcome to Lacey's. What can I get for you two?" Tom gave a polite nod and ordered grilled cheese for Eli, black coffee for himself, and a bowl of chicken noodle soup. The waitress's name was Rachel, and while her smile seemed effortless, it masked the exhaustion behind her eyes. A single mom working double shifts to care for her own child, she had long mastered the art of holding herself together while carrying the weight of the world. 15 minutes later, Rachel returned with the food. She gently placed the tray down and looked at Eli. "Would you like help, sweetheart?" she asked softly, kneeling beside the boy's wheelchair. Eli gave a tiny nod. He was shy, unsure of strangers, but there was something warm in Rachel's voice. Tom leaned in. "It's okay, buddy. I can help you." But before he could reach, Rachel was already cutting the grilled cheese into tiny pieces. She took a spoonful of soup, blew on it gently, and fed it to Eli with patient care, just like a mother would. Tom watched in stunned silence. He wasn't used to strangers being so gentle with his son. Most people looked the other way, awkward around Eli's condition. But not Rachel. She wasn't just doing her job. She was present, and Eli smiled. A real, honest-to-goodness smile. That smile was rare these days. "Thank you," Tom finally said, his voice a little quieter than usual. Rachel stood up and smiled again. "It's nothing. My little boy's 7. I get it." Tom watched her walk away, 1,000 thoughts racing through his head. Who was she? Why did she remind him of someone? As Rachel moved from table to table, balancing orders and checking in with customers, Tom couldn't stop watching her. He noticed the cracks in her sneakers, the faded uniform, the way she occasionally rubbed her wrists like it hurt. She wasn't just working, she was surviving, but somehow she made everyone around her feel like they mattered. He asked the cashier about her. The girl simply replied, "Rachel? She's here 6 days a week, nicest person you'll ever meet. Always puts others first." That was all Tom needed to hear. After paying the bill and tipping generously, Tom wheeled Eli outside to the car. But instead of driving away, he sat in the driver's seat, staring back at the diner through the windshield. "She helped me feed you today," he whispered to Eli. "That meant something." Eli nodded, still smiling. Tom went home that night, but he couldn't shake the image of Rachel spoon-feeding his son, her hands steady, her expression kind. Speaking of kindness, you can be kind and give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. But honestly, if you are still watching at this point, you know we deserve it as well. Now let's get back to the story. He decided he wasn't done with her story. The next morning, Tom returned to Lacey's, alone this time. Rachel spotted him and looked a little surprised. "Back so soon?" she asked with a chuckle. "I wanted to say thank you properly," he said. Rachel blinked. "For what?" "For treating my son like he mattered. For not hesitating." She shrugged, looking genuinely puzzled. "That's what people are supposed to do, right?" Tom studied her for a moment, then asked gently, "Can I ask, What's your story? Rachel hesitated. Most customers didn't ask that, but something in his voice made her trust him. She sighed. I'm a single mom. My son's got asthma and some learning challenges. I work here mornings and do delivery driving in the evenings. It's tough, but I keep going. That's what moms do. Tom was quiet for a long second. Then he said, I'm Tom Ellington, CEO of Ellington Ventures. Rachel's eyes widened. Wait, you're that Tom Ellington? He smiled. Guilty. Rachel suddenly looked embarrassed. Oh no, I treated you like a regular customer. And I love that, he interrupted. You treated my son like a regular boy. That meant more than you know. There was a pause, then he said something that caught her completely off guard. I want to change your life. Rachel blinked. What? I want to help you. You've got heart, integrity. You reminded me of my wife. She used to work 3 jobs before we made it. You deserve a break. Rachel was speechless. She'd heard about these moments in movies. She never thought it would happen to her. Are you serious? She whispered. I'd like to offer you a full scholarship to study anything you want. Business, nursing, whatever your dream is. And in the meantime, I'd like to set up a fund to support your son's medical needs. I also have a position in my company I think you'd be perfect for. Rachel's hands shook. Her throat tightened. I don't know what to say. Tom smiled. Just say yes. And she did. Now let me ask you something. If someone offered you the chance to change your life because they saw your heart, your struggle, your grit, what would you do? Would you take the leap? Let us know in the comments. And if you believe that small acts of kindness can still shape the world, share this story with someone who needs hope today. Back to the story. Within a month, Rachel had started courses at a local community college, paid in full by Tom's foundation. She began working part-time in the HR department at Ellington Ventures, learning quickly, bringing her warmth and empathy into every room she entered. Her son, Marcus, started attending a private school with full-time support staff. His asthma was now under control, and for the first time, he told his mom he wanted to be like Mr. Ellington when he grew up. As for Tom and Eli, they kept visiting Lacey's every so often, though now it was just for nostalgia. And sometimes they'd spot Rachel at the corner booth, working on her laptop, her face lit up with purpose. In a world that often rushes by, it was a single moment of compassion, a waitress feeding a little boy, that changed the trajectory of her life. A reminder that kindness doesn't need to be loud, it just needs to be real. So next time you see someone quietly doing good, don't ignore it. You never know who's watching or whose life might be about to change. When's the last time you decided to help those in need? Be honest. Let us know in the comments below.